So I'm Kathy, and this is Barry, and we are the owners of Grow. We have lived in Manhattan Beach for 18 years, and Grow just celebrated in the South Bay, we celebrated 14 years in September. And our Grow downtown LA store just celebrated 5 years in October. So, we have taken the South Bay, Safe in the South Bay pledge very seriously. We actually took kind of a pledge amongst our staff before it was even mandated by the state or the LA County, where we would have our employees come in and wash their hands for 20 seconds. We have signs in the bathroom that say it's for 2 happy birthday songs. To be washing your hands. We had masks and gloves for all of our employees for when they came in. And then for our customers, we had already set down lines on the ground so everyone can practice safe social distancing at the registers and at our meat case. We also have hand sanitizer for our employees and customers right when you walk in the door. So that's been helpful. And we are constantly sanitizing the carts and the baskets and any high-touch surfaces throughout the store. So a lot of our customers have been telling us how safe they feel when they come and shop at Grow.
It's actually been a really, something everyone's really pushed is how safe they feel here, which makes us feel good because when everything happened, our entire family was working in the shop 10 hours a day, each of us 7 days a week. And so we were around so many people that it was really important for us and our employees to be safe because we were intermixing with so many people. We were being safe with what we were doing, but we weren't sure about our customers. So we really wanted to make sure that we kept ourselves safe and our employees or our customers safe as well. So it's been a big pledge and it's a consistent pledge for us as well. One thing, if you ever have any questions, please put them in the chat room and we're more than happy to answer questions as we go. We were actually the first Blue Zone store in America. I take it back, California for sure, but I think America. When Blue Zones first was coming together in the South Bay, they reached out to Grow and we started doing some catering, offering some fruit for the breakout meetings. And we went to so many of those meetings in the front end because we were bringing product and we really were engaged with the idea of Blue Zones. It's something that has helped us and our family, but it's also helped our employees and it's definitely has helped our customers as well. We were really happy when Blue Zones came to us and asked us if we would be a Blue Zones grocery store. And just sitting down with them, I felt, oh, well, we're probably already a Blue Zone grocery store. We are a fruit shop. And well, we weren't. We had certain things that we needed to tweak in the store. And it was great listening to their ideas. One thing that really sticks in my mind still, and it really is a focus when we bring products into the store, is sugar content in drinks. Even though it's a fruit drink, or a vegetable drink, there's still sugar in there. And when they were talking about the amount of sugar that goes into a lot of ready to purchase drinks, we actually took out several items in the store. And at that same time, we were doing a transition where anything that was genetically modified, we wanted out of the store. And if it was still in the store, we were labeling that so our customers knew. And we really felt that that was part of being a Blue Zones grocery store. We wanted to make sure that our customers knew what they were purchasing. And when they came to the store, eventually they just had that safety factor that they knew that Grow was really purchasing products and offering products that were in their best interest. So we're gonna walk a bit around the store. If you've been here, it's very, very big. So this will be a long video. So a couple of things that we had to do for Grow to be a Blue Zone grocery store is a few things. One, you have to have an end cap produce. Well, we, as you can probably see, have a lot of end caps in our store that are produce. So we really wanted to focus in with certain signage so customers would learn about products. You can see those signs. Oh, there's one right there. And that talks about avocados. We also talk about the importance of eating 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day. for us, the more intelligent our customers, the more our customers know and shop intelligently, the better they're going to feed their families. And we know that because that's something that we have learned. Kathy, back in here, is if we want a healthy family, we have to consistently shop for healthy products. And that's something that fortunately our kids have really embraced, especially when they went off to college. It was a struggle for my son because he didn't like the food. And my daughter followed the same path. It got very expensive for us because we were mailing them food. Very happy after their freshman year, they could start cooking for themselves. And that's one benefit, is that Kathy is a wonderful cook. And with that, I'd say she's really got the kids interested in how to make food and how to prepare things, and just making small changes to make meals healthier, but also more tasty.
But speaking of that, if you go to our website at growdelivers.com, there are over 200 recipes that have been made and tested on our family. So if it didn't cut it for our family, it didn't end up on our website, and it didn't go into the recipe rotation.
Yeah, Kathy was making so many meals. It got to a point that the kids would basically ask, where's my pen and paper for my notes for the dinner tonight? And it was, but they really got into it. You would get to a point going, well, this needs a little bit more salt, Mom. And you're going, you're 12 years old. How do you know that? But they had eaten so many different meals that Kathy had prepared and tested. So, sorry. So one thing is that we have found with COVID is that people were cooking a lot at home, and they were really, it was good because when we first opened the store, it's about the same time that Food Network was taking off, and people were really engaged with where products came from. And we really saw over the past 5 to 6 years that really has changed. People have more so looked at just convenience. With the onset of, say, delivery programs that could bring any dinner to you in a blink of an eye, that was, it changed the way people were eating. And you had customers who were literally eating out 3 to 5 times a day or night, or week, instead of actually preparing their own food. So when we expanded the shop 5 years ago, we also, at the same time, we're opening our downtown store. And the downtown store has a full kitchen. And so they actually started preparing meals for us, and salads, proteins as well, anything that we could put together so you could have an easy dinner. And the key to it was being healthy. The ingredients, the main focus was, what are healthy ingredients? And with this, what can we make a delicious meal? And with that, I think we really hit a home run, to be honest. We didn't come up with the recipes, but we were really happy with the product that came in. I'm not sure if you can see these, but just a few things we have in here right now. One thing that we did find with COVID at first is that people did not want any prepared foods. This case was empty for about 6 to 8 weeks because people only wanted product that someone hadn't touched or that was packaged. I hate to say this, but still to this day, all of our meat, for the most part, is still vacuum sealed because customers want to purchase something that they know that someone here hasn't touched, or there's been minimal interaction with people during the from farm to fork. So that's something that has not changed, and we really don't expect that to change here for a while. We've put out certain steaks, we've broken them out, but people will then go back to, they want things that are packaged. We don't like packaged things. We're a natural market, but right now you really have to listen to what your customers want, and especially in this type of environment.
Do we have any questions of anything we've presented so far?
Okay, not a problem. What?
Oh, well, there's that. So with the holidays, we wanted to do a demonstration on how to make a charcuterie board. So,
what's your question?
Oh.
What was the inspiration for starting this the shop? It's kind of, we first moved to Manhattan Beach, our son wanted a boogie board, and we made him raise half the money. So he had a fruit stand in front of our house, and he sold cherries. And people took him about 2 hours to sell a box of cherries. And then the next weekend, it took him an hour and a half to sell 2 boxes. The next weekend, it took him less than an hour to sell 5 boxes. And that's when we really realized that there was a demand for a really nice quality product. And so that was really the start of the idea for opening the store. At that time, we were a fruit shop. We were 80% fruits and vegetables, but we listened to our customer, and that's really how we grew. Customers would say, I want protein. Okay, so we started adding meat. I want fish. We added fish. We want wine. We added wine. Yes, and Kathy wanted the wine. We really listened to our customers, and that's really how we kind of expanded the shop. But the idea really came from a kid with a cherry stand who wanted a boogie board. That's how the idea came about. What are the best-selling items behind the counter? It's really easy, to be honest. In the meat case, the #1 seller is our pork chops, hands down. The bone-in pork chops, they're delicious. They are amazing. We've had people who actually have us cryovac them and freeze them, and they send them to their family in the Midwest, which that's where it comes from. So I'm not sure why, but we can supply a better pork chop than they can get locally. Other best sellers, I'd have to say are fillets. Fillets, you don't need a knife. You can use a fork on them. They're just like butter. They're incredible. And of course, roast salsa. That's a no-brainer. That really that started with us. I think our 3rd week we opened the shop, we had the salsa in here. So that's those are 3 things that are huge. And of course, we started with the cherry stand. So the cherries are the #1 fruit at grow throughout the whole year.
All right.
Okay. So we're gonna take you back into the kitchen, and what are you saying about the holidays, Kat?
So I know that no one really knows what's going to happen with the holidays this year, but I'm sure that people are still getting together with at least small amount of family. And so one of the things that we really enjoy making, one of the biggest questions we have is how to pronounce charcuterie. And then now that we're out of the store, we can finally take our masks off. So it's charcuterie is how we pronounce the charcuterie board. And it's just a fun way to say it. It's just a meat and cheese board. But what we are going to demonstrate today is how we put together a charcuterie board. So you want to, sorry, we're just getting fully set up here. Okay. All right.
Ah, that's nice.
So one of the main things about a charcuterie board is that you want it to be as simple as possible, but you really want to make it look impressive. And you can make it look impressive by just a few items, but by filling your entire board. We have made hundreds of boards, either alone or together, and we still, when we stare at this blank bamboo board, have a little bit of anxiety that how am I going to fill this board? It looks so gigantic, and how am I going to make it look amazing? And you just have to trust yourself. It just comes together. So the first thing you want to start with is your cheeses, and mainly you want to pick cheeses that you personally like, or that are crowd pleasers. And so today we chose 5 cheeses that, #1, we both like because this is going to be our dinner, but also that are crowd pleasers. So if you want to describe the cheeses.
Sure. So here we have a French brie, and what I find nice with the brie is that everybody knows what it is. So when someone goes up to a cheese board and they're looking at it, they're going, well, I know what that is. And so they'll really start with the brie because it's very iconic, should we say. We also have in here a Parmesan. One thing I do with the Parmesan, it comes in a block. And so what I'll do is I'll take a knife and I'll just kind of chip at the block itself instead of cutting it in wedges. And the idea for that is, I'm not sure if you can really see this, but there's actually the salt crystals that are in the Parmesan, and so you can actually see those crystals. And it also, I think it stacks a little bit better. One thing I do recommend too on a knife, if you can get something that it's somewhat serrated on the sides, just so the cheese actually kind of falls off the knife better. One other thing, when you're cutting the cheese, you want it to be cold. The colder it is, the easier it is for you to cut. So from there, we also have, this is actually a new cheese for us. It's a Sriracha Gouda. And so it's just something different. And people are always looking for different flavors. It's so new, we just tried it today, and we're really glad that we brought it in. And we're glad that we're gonna have it for dinner tonight.
The other thing about bringing in flavored cheese is that sometimes people don't want to have a cheese that you maybe will need a cracker as the vessel or anything. So you want to have something that's very flavorful that people can just pick at and not need a cracker or any jam to go with it. So that's kind of a fun cheese.
This cheese here is called Midnight Moon, and it is by Cypress Grove up in Northern California. It is a delicious cheese. What I love about it is that it just lingers. It just stays in the mouth, and it's just a delicious flavor. Additionally, we have on here is Manchego from Spain, and very much a crowd favorite. One thing I love about the Manchego is the rind, and we'll show this to you when we're building the board, but if we leave the rind on the back, it's actually kind of a nice vessel. So when you're grabbing the cheese, so you can grab the cheese and not have to use a cracker if you do not want to use a cracker.
Okay. So the first thing you want to do is, like I said, start with the cheese because they're your anchors to the whole board. So you just want to place the cheeses haphazardly on the board.
Now, I know Kathy's going to get mad at me for this. I personally like to start, because I like symmetry, I usually start with the brie here. But
I think that the brie should go at a corner. So when somebody has a knife, that they can start at the corner. So we're going to leave the brie here.
Happy wife, happy life. Okay. But one thing too, is before we go into this, is that we really recommend that you prepare everything first. Cut everything, all your cheeses, have your fruit ready, have your nuts, everything ready. So as you put things on the board, you can move them around. And what's one thing that I really kind of find, if I look down at something, I don't like the formation, I can easily move things around. But if it's not cut in advance, it's just a little harder.
So I've taken the Manchego, and for no reason other than it just looks kind of cool, we like to take the slices and go back and forth.
Yeah.
There. And then, like Barry said, that has a really cool zigzag rind on the edge that makes it so you can grab it.
And also, it's easier just to grab one, and so it's keeping things a little more sanitary.
Okay. See, I already know that I've got another pile of crumbled cheese, so I don't want to have them too close together. There. So, you want me to zigzag these?
Sure.
Okay. So while I'm putting the Midnight Moon on the cheese board, the second item that you want to add to your cheese board are the meats. So we've chosen 3 different kinds of meats for this cheese board.
And we cheated. This Italian salami, already sliced, so it makes it a lot easier. We also have a prosciutto, and we also have a dry salami. And again, we usually put 3 to 4 different meats on the board to have a variety, and also just adds a different texture to the boards as well. All right.
So what we like to do with the thinly sliced salami is kind of make little flowers out of them. And I like to, because I want them to kind of stay, I like to place them against a cheese so they can just kind of be tucked in there to make really pretty flowers.
I'll make a few plates.
Okay.
Oh, sorry about that.
So if the other salami that we chose is a spicy salami, just so you have a little more variety.
Feel a little time crunch here. It's funny, we always ask for a 24-hour notice on cheese boards, but we still make them if someone calls that day. And the reason is that when we get to the holidays, we will, I think last Christmas, I think we probably had about 25 boards going out between the 23rd and 24th. And it just takes up so much labor and so much time. Each board probably takes us about an hour from the standpoint of gathering the product, preparing the product, and then building the board. It's kind of nice having 4 hands here today and everything already cut up.
So this is our spicy salami. And then here's your prosciutto. And then we used a prosciutto. Okay.
I'll give this to you, Kathy, because when I put the prosciutto on, she always comes back and changes it. So
we used to take the prosciutto and roll it up all nicely, but then we found that when people go to a cheese board, it's just kind of easier and a little more fun if it's just a little more free form, and it doesn't seem so just formal, I guess. So it's just kind of fun to place the prosciutto where you like it and rip them into little pieces or a little bit bigger pieces.
And the prosciutto is delicious. I mean, I had, actually this morning I made an egg McMuffin, McDonald's McMuffin, but an egg muffin. I actually threw a piece of prosciutto in the pan with the egg, and that was actually the meat, and it was divine. Okay.
So then the next thing we want to add are the fruits and the nuts. So we're using both salted almonds and our Marcona, the Marcona almonds. These are just really popular almonds to have, or nuts to have on a cheese board. So you can see it's kind of coming together, and then what we'll start to do is fill in some of the empty spaces. So, or do we want to do the crackers first?
Let's
do the crackers first.
Whatever you like. So these are raincoats, very popular. I'd like to brag that we were actually one of the first stores in Los Angeles even to carry these. Now you can get them in a lot of different stores.
But the best place to get them is at Grove.
I never argue with her.
So, yeah.
Yep.
So I always for sure like to put one of the crackers by the brie, since that is going to be one that most people will use to spread on top of a cracker. But again, it's completely up to you as the creator where you want to put any crackers.
I think one thing too is, Kathy, I think she pointed out earlier, I finally feel really tall, is that really choose cheeses you like. You know, that you're putting all the work into it, just something that you really enjoy, then it's going to be more enjoyable for you to make and also to talk about it as well.
So what I want to do, I know he was going to put all these together, but I'm already looking at just, I want more of the color to be spread out a little bit. So
I don't like how these are all together, so it makes us a little prettier.
So, and then I'm going to take some of my nuts and start to fill in some of the spots on the board. And what is nice about the both kinds of almonds is that the dark almonds are a nice contrast. You know, a lot of cheeses are a lighter color.
So it wouldn't be a board from Grove, it didn't have fruit on it, of course. And so we always put grapes on the boards.
and strawberries. We try to do figs when they're in season. We're just finishing fig season. We might have them for another week or two. But right now, these black grapes, which people don't like black grapes that much in the United States, but this is called an Adora. That's the variety name, and they're tremendous. It's great when people come to the store and we recommend them, and they're like, "Oh, my kids don't like black grapes," and then when their kids try the black grape in the store, they walk home with a bag of black grapes or green grapes.
So yeah, you can see they're really pretty. Got a lot of color contrast. More here. You just want to have fun with your charcuterie board.
Hey, Kathy and Barry.
Yeah.
When you have it all done, do you have to like saran wrap it so you can transport it? Is that the
That's the
trick?
part I hate the most because it's so pretty and it's so stressful, but we have really super sticky saran wrap, and we usually get 2 people to do it together.
He wants to show you how we saran it. We're more than happy to do that, but it's like we put it underneath first and then wrap it and then sideways. So yeah, I think the first boards we made we were kind of bummed because we want people to see the board as we're seeing it, and they see it through the saran and it's not as impressive. But when they're impressed through the saran, we know that when they open it, they'll be really impressed.
It's really beautiful.
So yeah, it seemed, again, like I said, it seemed daunting at the beginning when it was just a plain board, but it really can come together pretty easily. Want to be able to see the board. And then the other thing that we like to add, I like to add them to my boards because I like them. But again, it's, if you want to add olives, because you like olives, if you want to add the little cornichons, you can add those. So those just add another little few things of color around the board. It's kind of fun.
And what are some of the other things that you do for the holidays? Like this is a thing you do. I know we've done the fruit baskets also from you that are beautiful.
Kathy is probably, I think, the best basket maker in the world. And I know that because she'll come in and someone else made a basket and she rips it apart and rebuilds it, the same items, and it looks 10 times better. The basket still looks very nice. But she takes a lot of pride in the baskets. And what's nice is people will come in and walk through the store with Kathy and choose the items that they like in the store, and then Kathy will create a basket for them. Of course, for the holidays, last year we decided to offer brine turkeys for Thanksgiving. And, we thought we'd have 30 or 40 brine turkeys. And when all was said and done, we had 135 brine turkeys. And she wanted to divorce me. My kids wanted to shoot me. It was so much work. And because, again, we thought we'd do 30 or 40. And so we are doing brine turkeys again this year. We capped it at 120 turkeys. And we've already sold 70% of that 120 as of this morning. So,
but now we have a plan, more of an understanding of what we're going into. So it won't be that bad.
Yeah. But also we offer side dishes, and we've been offering sides, for years. We used to partner with a couple of restaurants in town locally, and so we had our own kitchen downtown. And what's nice is that all the side dishes for Thanksgiving, the menu was created, but really the ingredients and the dishes were created by the same people who created everything else for the shop. And so they are definitely skewing more towards the healthier side. And but yeah, that's pretty much our holiday offering. And then as we go into Christmas, we'll have other meals available as well. And we have standing rib roasts. The meat department is incredibly busy during December. It's for certain parties, especially of course for Christmas. But it's we really pride ourselves in the quality of the products that we have coming out of that case. And when our supplier, when we first met him, walked the store and he looked at me and said, I will compliment in that meat case the quality of the fruit that you have on these shelves. And he's done that since day one. We have other people walk in, oh, I can do cheaper prices. We're like, we're not even going to talk to you. We're not talking about cheaper prices. We just want a really good piece of meat. So those are the things that we offer. But here's the board. I don't think so. How would I move the?
Move the camera.
Okay. Let's tilt the camera up.
There we go.
How's that? So
Amazing.
That's stunning.
thank you.
That is just beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, so I mean, it went by a lot faster because there were two of us putting it together, but
And the camera.
and we did, like Barry said, we had all the cheese cut up and prepped. I think that kind of takes up a little bit of time, but it's definitely doable. But if you don't want to do it, Grow will do it for you for the holiday. Well, anytime of the year.
24 hours, please. That's all we ask. That's all we ask.
Yeah.
But one thing that we are offering this for starting today through for the next 7 days is we're having anyone who comes in and does blue cheese, they say that at the register, they'll get a 15% discount on all cheeses here at the shop. And so we encourage you to come in and maybe grab something new that you're looking to try, and you'll save 15% on, and chances are you're probably gonna like it. You're probably gonna like it.
Barry,
Blue Zone offer to use the blue cheese code. So we hope you take advantage of it and maybe find some new favorites.
Is this
the blue zone
spicy?
correlation there? That was my.
Is the sriracha cheese spicy or hot?
No, it's not that. There's the flavors in there, but it's really not that spicy.
Okay.
It's definitely just new and fun, but yeah, it wasn't that spicy.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Any other questions?
Do you have any special dishes of prepared foods for Thanksgiving that you are going to have in the case?
We are, everything is to order for Thanksgiving. And
To pre-order.
to pre-order, correct.
Okay.
And Kathy will talk to you. I'll be right back.
We always we always will bring in extras of our stuffing, of our mashed potatoes, the gravy. The gravy is really, really good. I always cheat by buying road gravy, but it's just first come, first serve. That's a good question though. But the stuffing is one of my favorites because I also don't like to make stuffing. But everything else I'll make at home.
She actually will buy extra stuffing and just throw it in the freezer. So typically, to munch on. Did you get through this?
I didn't go through everything that we offered,
Okay.
but just that we'll have extras.
Yeah, we will. And it's funny because for this year for Thanksgiving, we're really we can only have 15 customers in the store at one time. So taking the pledge, it's really important to us that we keep everyone safe. And so we're really been rattling our heads. How are we going to get 350 people a day through the store at 15 people at a whack when this is not a fast transaction? People come in and they spend time and they're looking through the items because it's a special meal. And so it's been nice. One customer recommended that we actually put tents outside of Grow, and we put out our hearty things like our potatoes and our onions that really go into most of the meals for Thanksgiving. And so those can be spread out, and so people aren't congregating around those. So that's an idea of what we're trying to do to keep people safe. And we're also looking at maybe as people are lining us, or just getting their orders from them. And then from that point, we're preparing everything for them. So when they do come in, we already have their turkey ready for them. We have their side dishes ready for them. And then they can then go and shop the rest of the store. It's going to be a really interesting year this year. And I think it's going to be really into next year. We've, as a family, have just struggled with what are the right things to do. And so this Thanksgiving is going to be a real test for us. But fortunately, the kids will be home from college, and they are super, as my daughter, I think it was about a month ago, already started emailing me saying, okay, here's some ideas for the game plan for Thanksgiving. And she's a junior at Cal Poly, but she's already lining up exactly how we're going to do the brining and everything. And so that's one thing we're pretty proud of, because it's a family store, and it really is. Our kids are definitely engaged in the operations, and I'm pretty proud of that, because when they see a problem in the store, they fix it. Because I just got kicked, so that meant something. Yeah.
Are you still offering your delivery services?
Thank you for bringing that up. Yes, we are doing that. And so we'll be doing deliveries throughout Thanksgiving as well. And you order by 10 p.m., we'll deliver the following day to you. And the deliveries right now are usually arriving by about 10 a.m.
Monday through Saturday.
Monday through Saturday, correct.
Yeah.
Correct. And even if you want, we also have in-store pickup. So
No, curbside.
Curbside, in-store curbside pickup.
Yeah.
And so if you order your groceries online, then just give us a call and we'll walk them out to your car and put them in the trunk for you. And which is honestly been very, very popular, especially with our seniors. That's one thing that, if you look at the demographics on home delivery, it's definitely skewing towards our seniors. And it's been a real change, because at first it was really a challenge going online and placing orders, but now it's great to see that, actually, but just that leap, what COVID has forced upon us. And we have, I would say probably half of our deliveries right now are going to people who really shouldn't be going into grocery stores.
Oh.
We need more questions.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments for Barry and Kathy?
I would just like to say, I remember when you first opened and meeting with you way back when. I so appreciate the kind of role model that you were for what it means to be a Blue Zone grocery store. That you've expanded, that you're making all these adaptations around this really challenging time. And so it's just great. Thank you so much for the presentation. It was just fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you reaching out to us. We really do. We like to shop, and we like talking about it.